Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Tuesday, the 23rd day of July. Here we go. Today's halacha is once more about Tu B'Av. Now, Tu B'Av was on Monday, July 22nd, but we haven't finished all the reasons why it was celebrated as a festive day. One of the last reasons here is really an unusual one, and it is the following. It actually stems from a very, very tragic story, and that was where the Romans attacked the city of Beitar and massacred thousands and thousands of Jews. It was awful. The blood was running like rivers, and it ran all the way out until the Mediterranean Sea. They say that the blood was so deep that it was all the way up to the necks of the horses that the Romans were riding. Imagine that. Now, so where's the festivity? It's really startling where the festivity is. After the massacre, one of the vicious and wicked conquerors had decided, this is more gruesome than you could imagine, that he was going to have a garden, and he was going to surround his garden by Jewish bodies, the bodies that he had killed in Beitar. Unimaginable, but that's what he did, and he wouldn't allow the bodies to be buried, and this went on for a long, long time. And of course, it was such an incredible tragedy that the killings had happened, and then that the bodies en masse were not even allowed to be buried. And then finally, years later, this evil, wicked atrocity finally ended, and when it ended, the bodies were allowed to be buried. When they were allowed to be buried, a giant, giant miracle was discovered, and that was that none of the bodies had decomposed. That is unimaginable what a giant miracle that is, that the bodies had lied there for years and none of them had decomposed at all. And the rabbis of the time realized that although it marked the end of a tragic event, the two happinesses, if you could say it, were that the bodies were now being allowed to be buried, and that Hashem chose to show us an enormous miracle at that moment also. And because that happened, the rabbis declared, this, since that happened on the 15th of Av, that it would be declared as a happy day. Most startling of all is that benching Birkat Hamazon used to have three brachos in it, and a fourth bracha was added, and it was called Hatov HaMeitiv, based on the story that I'm telling you right now. And because of that story, the story of the miraculous burial of the bodies, the fourth bracha was added to our benching, and it was called the bracha of Hatov HaMeitiv, which we say until today, and it's because of the great miracle that was discovered on the 15th of Av. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.